Today's pretty special since it's my first attempt at a behind-the-scenes look. Hey everyone, and welcome back for more Elfcapade. I'm pretty new at this in case you didn't know, so I wasn't sure if this would be worth it. But then I realized this would be the last time I'd get to be a total noob about this, and I wanted to have something to look back on to see what would or wouldn't change in my process. Plus, while I know there's a lot of behind the scenes of filming a YouTube video or a vlog, I haven't seen much from fellow beginners, by which I mean under a year. So here is my process on how I film a video from start to finish, mostly. It all starts with an idea that lives in my notes app on my phone. It's generally just bullet points that I eventually sit down and turn into a script. It starts out very messy, much like how I look while I write and edit it. There's a reason you don't typically see that aside from this video. I also make it a point to write and proofread on separate days to make sure I can look at my script with fresh eyes. For my actual script, I use a freeware called Q10 on my computer because it's very minimalistic and has zero distractions. The other great thing about Q10 is that I can access it offline. Of course, the main drawback is that it's not connected to a cloud, so if I have any ideas while I'm not at home, I take notes on my phone. On the other hand, if or when I'm on vacation or just taking a day off from working, it's a lot easier to stay disconnected, given the fact that, I don't have a choice. But it was my choice to do it that way, so... Okay, getting very circular here, so let's move on to the parts that you actually see. Now for the fun part, filming day. It starts out like most of my days, by getting out of bed and immediately flopping into a couch because who doesn't? I'm not a morning person, obviously, but I also don't have a lot of space or energy to set up lights just for filming. Instead, I just take advantage of the ton of natural light that I get and do all my filming during the day. So after waking up reluctantly, I try my best to get over the fact that yes, I am awake. I shower reluctantly, get changed also reluctantly. You get the point. Next, I do my hair and makeup at my computer desk, which also doubles as my vanity table because that's what happens when you live in a studio apartment. If your furniture can't do two things or more in a studio apartment, you're probably doing it wrong. Or at least making it very difficult for yourself. Just as I polished up my script before filming, now I have to polish up me. This part I don't actually mind as much because I don't have a lot of chances to dress up right now. Partially because I don't want to take unnecessary risks with my health, but most importantly, it is very expensive to do so right now in California. Gas prices are more insane right now. So getting dressed in not pajamas and doing my hair and makeup is kind of nice. Although I've noticed that I then get the urge to do something after filming. Otherwise, it feels like I wasted a cute hair and makeup day, I don't actually go out after filming unless there's an errand that actually needs erranding, doing, get done. Anyway, I tried to keep my makeup pretty simple, mainly because I overdid it when I was doing Twitch. I hadn't been out to go anywhere other than grocery stores, so I got a little too excited to use my makeup again. All the planning and the hard work got a little out of hand and it felt like a chore. Sometimes I feel like playing with different hairstyles, but honestly, I'm probably gonna try to keep it pretty simple for now. I swear, I usually have an easier time doing my hair. But I felt weirdly self-conscious about filming myself before I film. Yeah, it's weird. I can't explain it either, so I'm just gonna skip over that for now, because it's time to actually film. Now, I had zero experience when it comes to filming and video editing, so this was all brand new to me. I studied illustration and graphic design, but not animation. Sure, I did some class projects here and there, but they were very limited and they were more motion graphics than anything. So as you can imagine, it was pretty daunting. Partially why it took me a long time before I got the courage and motivation to start, after procrastinating on Twitch, which I talk about in a separate video. I'll link it in the description down below. Okay, now back to my process. First thing I do, and this is important, be nervous. Just have a wave of Anxiety, uncertainty, self-consciousness. Is that a word? Embarrassment, guilt, fear, and top it off with even more anxiety. Why? I don't know, but it's part of the process now. But essentially, I let myself feel all of that, get over it, and then hit record. I will say, the time to feel all of that and then get over it has decreased a lot since the first time I started filming. That counts for something, right? Anyway, as much as I've gotten better, or at least hope I got better, it still takes me a while to film. Probably longer than it should, to be honest. Which still isn't too bad, I think, unless there's a lot of noise or activity going on outside, in which case I get hungry. I know, it's not the healthiest to skip meals, but I just don't have a lot of appetite in the morning anyway, and I just want to get my filming done while there's still light and before it gets too noisy in my area for whatever reason. So I typically don't actually eat until I'm done filming and taking my thumbnail photos. Speaking of, wow, what a natural and convenient way to transition to my next topic, thumbnails. I usually just have a general idea of what I want my thumbnail to look like, and I guess a general expression. Okay, I really don't know what I'm doing, and I wish I could plan this step out more. But honestly, I'm still not 100% sure on what thumbnails work for me, and so for now, I'm just trying my best. Full disclosure, in my earlier days filming, there were times where I was just so happy and relieved to be done with filming that I forgot to take thumbnail photos. So I had to change back to what I wore while filming. Thankfully, I still had my makeup on. That doesn't happen now, thankfully. Once I'm done filming and taking photos for the thumbnail, I transfer everything and my SD card to my PC. I technically use a 400 gig, yes, 400, micro SD card with an adapter. Is it overkill? Absolutely, but it was also just $50 at Costco, so... Anyway, that does lead me to editing. Oh, speaking of editing and being able to cover up filming mistakes, well, just in case you were wondering about the continuity error, I'm actually filming this about a month after the actual behind the scenes. For some reason, my dumbass thought that I would just voice over the recording from my phone until I got to the actual video editing part and realized it was pretty boring because it was essentially just B-roll. So here's me fixing that oversight. It's part of the process now. They have reshoots for movies, right? Otherwise, the bulk of what I do in the editing process is actually cutting out awkward silences. I don't even cut out my mistakes, or at least not all of it. I save that for a little bloopers reel at the end of each video. In case you didn't know that, this is your friendly reminder to watch this and all my other videos all the way to the end. Why do I do this? Oddly enough, in this case, I can honestly say, it's not you, it's me. Or at least, it's for me. Remember when I said that part of my process, whether I like it or not, is to be nervous and self-conscious? But that's been getting better? Well, being able to find the humor in my mistakes and just laugh at myself actually helps a lot more than I can say. Honestly, picking out which bloopers to include is my favorite part of the editing process. Seriously, I can't endorse it enough. Now that I've trimmed the video down to the basics, it's time to spice it up. I know, right now I don't have a lot of my own B-roll, but that's something that I'm hoping to fix at some point in the future. But baby steps here, okay? I'm still mentally bracing for actually filming outside the comfort of my own home. Thankfully though, this is where Pexels.com comes to the rescue. They have a lot of high-quality images that are free for commercial use, such as this. This isn't sponsored, by the way. It's just been a really awesome resource. Of course, they have even more excellent media that you can pay to use if that's what your project needs. Sometimes I have certain parts of the video where I think I have the perfect B-roll in mind for that. Other times I just play through each chapter and find good spots to put B-roll in. Yes, I have chapters in my editing program, although my account isn't eligible for that feature yet, I think. But you can help by liking this video and hitting that subscribe button for me. You know, I don't actually know if my previous videos will get chapters once my account is eligible. The videos themselves had it when I rendered them though, so hopefully. Once it's all together, I play through the whole video at least once to make sure that it's cohesive and the timing of the titles and the b-roll is correct. Then it's time to render. So it's done, right? This goodbye? Wrong. Remember when I said this is my process from start to finish, mostly? Well, I'm not done until I've uploaded and scheduled the video. For that, I had to go back to thumbnails. This part is a lot more flexible. I generally work on my thumbnails whenever I have free time. This can be right after filming, while I'm waiting for the oven to preheat, or even while I'm just on the couch, semi-watching TV. Otherwise, I work on it while the video is rendering. The thumbnail process part 2 is generally cropping and fitting the photo I want on a 1920 by 1080 canvas. I save it to my Dropbox and add a title or whatever else using Procreate on my iPad, which I then save a separate file in my Dropbox again since I upload my video through my computer. I write a little tidbit about the video in the description and then I copy-paste generic information, such as what equipment I use and the affiliate links for that, which music I use, and credit for pixels for the b-roll, even though they don't require it. Hey, I believe in giving credit where credit is due. There you have it. If you think that's a lot, that's because it is. Creating a video for YouTube or elsewhere is a lot of work, especially if you're doing it all by yourself. A lot of people end up just not doing it or quitting because it's so overwhelming. I don't blame them. Some people outsource parts of the work as soon as they can, and there's some days that I can admit it sounds very tempting. But for now, I'm enjoying the learning process and the experience and trying to find entertainment in the mistakes and setbacks I've encountered, such as my bloopers and the fact that I'm recording this a month after my first footage for this video, which was all essentially b-roll, because it just didn't connect in my mind that this was my A-roll. On that semi-awkward note, this is the correct time to say that now I'm done and this is goodbye. So, bye! Take notes on my app. I'm on vacation. Take advantage of the... That just flickered. Wow, what a natural and convenient... Once I'm done filming and laugh at myself